Hi, it's Colleen. This is part 2. This is sort of going into a little bit on the protocol now for brain skills. And we were introducing that a little bit in the first one, right? So when we were talking about the typical intense protocol for these brain training programs is usually to do it in a short period of time and to do it with intensity. And that goes around the loading methodology. It's based on the theory of neuroplasticity where, our brains have the ability to actually change now. And so you can use this brain skills program for a full year. You'll have access to it. But to give your child the most benefit from the program, you should try and do it in an intense manner. So the protocol can be split up. You'll have 10 exercises that you can see below in the demo, and as through the explanation on the page. So you can do it in various ways. You can look at it as looking at time on task, where you're going to do 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night to try and do the hour per day. Or you can split the exercises. There's 10 exercises, so have your child focus on 5 at a time and work that way. The only catch that you have is, I always tell the parents you're going to have to meet your child where they're at. So if you're working with your child who may be already overwhelmed and frustrated, our goal is not to stress them out more and shut them down, right? Because then that's just not going to be helpful in the long run. The big takeaway in brain training with the science behind it is that your child needs to be engaged and actively engaged, and they want to be attending. So they want to be involved in what they're doing in order to release certain chemicals in their brain, which allows for new pathways to grow off of the brain cells. So here's the trick is definitely meeting your child where they're at. And I usually will tell parents that if I'm talking with someone who has a child that's completely overwhelmed, meaning they're in crisis mode, that's basically why they're coming to me for help, but they still want to try and do it yourselfer kind of thing, like over the summer, they're going to try and just do what they can and then reach to me for more help. Start your child out at 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, because you want to gradually work your child into this program. And once they're introduced, you're going to lower that level of the, of anticipation, of the anxiety for the unknown, in a sense. So you're lessening that. They're getting introduced to the program. They're getting comfortable with it. They're seeing that it's fun. And it's not so difficult to get through what they need to do for the day. So it just becomes part of a routine for them. And it's still challenging because it's never doing the same thing. You're not just going to drill the same thing over and over and over again. Like I said, with that loading methodology, they may always still be doing a visual game or a visual puzzle, but the challenges will always change for them. So it's always a new version of putting puzzles together. So it's just not changing the picture of a puzzle that they're putting together, but there's other challenges that you'll see even in some of the demo of what happens for your child. So it's always new and fresh, and that's what you want. And then the other thing that you just need to be aware of too is making sure that they're able to attend. So if for some reason you're working with a teen that is just in that teen world where they're giving you some attitude and they don't want to do anything, I do have a parent-teen contract that you can reach to me for if you get to that point, and we can go over that. It's very simplistic, it's not that involved, and it's basically just laying out for your child, together you'll create something where they basically will work through the program in order to keep their privileges, and you do it in a way so that it's not like a prison sentence for them. Do you know what I mean? So they're still actively engaged and having fun. It's just that you're together working as a team, understanding the benefits and the overall long-term goal of doing this program, and your child is buying into it for various reasons. You're giving them an incentive, and it's becoming more and more of an internal motivation versus an external motivation through the parent-teen contract, which we would go over, at another time. You can use 30-minute consult for that if you think that you're going to need it. So that would be some of my tips around the protocol and helping your child be able to maintain through the program. Also for some of the coaching, I'll talk to you about that. If I need to do another quick video on that, I will. But as mom or dad coaching your child through this, some of the things that you're going to look for is really, sort of if your child is having difficulty getting through a level, and you have to say, reach to me for help, right? You're saying, oh, my child is on this exercise level, whatever, we're stuck, we're not moving, what can I do? Well, there's different ways to approach that, but the biggest takeaway for you as the parent is to observe. Observe, observe, observe. Because even if you have to reach to me at some point for help, I'm going to be asking you questions like, what did you notice as your child was doing this exercise? And I'll be asking you certain questions, so I'll be able to get the answers. But you need to look for things like, maybe your child was, for example, if we're working with exercises that, visual, and you know that your child has a low with visual memory. Well, if there's a game that's requiring a lot of visual memory and your child isn't able to do that, then there's certain ways to get through that and to help your child. So one way that you can do it is your child can actually speak to themselves and say it. So if there's something where, there's just so much that I can take you through. I don't want to keep you on videos for like hours, but so say when you're doing some of the visual puzzles and distractions may come up, which may be numbers, so your child can say the numbers. So say if we know that your child's already strong in auditory but very weak in visual, they can speak the number as they're strengthening their auditory. And eventually they won't have to speak the number to themselves because their auditory will be strong enough and they'll be able to get through using an auditory visual kind of component. Like those underlying skills together will be stronger. But initially you don't want the child to be stuck at a brick wall where they're going to shut down and not even want to do the game anymore, because that's not going to help either. So we will work with you together to come up with strategies if you need that. So you can reach to me from email, and I'll help you with that. I mean, there's limited email kind of support. So I wouldn't expect that much anyway, since you're jumping for the do-it-yourselfer kind of package. There's lots of parents that do use the do-it-yourselfer and they're successful, and usually we're just talking behind the scenes on email and I'm helping guide the parents through it. So again, your takeaway for protocol is to meet your child where they're at. Initially start at like maybe the first week or so, doing like 30 minutes 3 times a week. So you're introducing your child to it. You don't want to introduce your child to an hour at a time if your child is already overwhelmed. If you have a child that's eager to get on, that's looking at the demo at the page that you're on right now with you and is excited about starting, and their schedule is fine and can allow for that hour, fine, because you don't want to have a child, right, that's in like 15 sports, and 10 o'clock at night your child's sitting down to try and do it and your child's like 10. So that just doesn't make logical sense, right? Ideally, if you're really going to get into some intense brain training, if you could cut back on sports, that would be great. I know that's a huge no-no for a lot of families, and that's fine. We work around that. So that may be something where you need to reach to me just to have that chat in your free 30-minute consult about, here's where we're at, and, I need help in trying to make this a priority for us and our family right now. And we'll work through that and help you get that going and make sure that your child's comfortable and eager to learn and get through this program. So I will end this video here. And there may be additional videos that are popping up on this page, so you can come back and check. Other than that, I would take advantage of your free 30-minute video consultation with me, so we can go through a lot of information. After you purchase the program, use your 30-minute consult with me, because with the program in hand, I can take you through sort of a strategy on how to get your child to get through the program and get as much benefit out of it as possible. So with that, I'll leave you, and you can look forward to additional videos. Thanks. Bye.